Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Bruce, CMO at Agent Moves, and welcome to our Good to Great series. We're all about sharing amazing stories of top realtors and how they got there so we can help more become great. Let's jump in with our guest today. I'd like you to meet Maia Samb. Quite interesting here. We like to open up with something totally unrelated to being an agent and dealing with real estate. She considers herself a citizen of the world. And I'd like to hear a little bit about what that means. And as she's looking to make sure her children are citizens of the world. So, welcome, Maya, and tell us a little bit about that before we jump in about real estate.
Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you for having me. Of course, Maya, I consider myself a citizen of the world. I was born and raised in Senegal. I moved to the United States in 2008 from France. So I consider myself to be a citizen of the world, having lived and experienced like multiple continents. And as time went by, I realized what a great gift it was. And I try every single day as a parent of two beautiful girls to show them that the world is really their oyster, and showing them that everywhere, no matter what our differences are, we all want the same things. And by traveling and experiencing other cultures, they get to not only understand that we are all different, but we're kind of all the same. So I love that about my lifestyle. And yeah, that's about me in a nutshell.
Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful. I'm sure with that and with your children, it will be some experience growing up. I know you mentioned trying to also travel with them often.
Absolutely, absolutely. We make it a point to get them out at least once a year, experience a new country, new culture, new cuisine, and be curious. Be curious about other human beings because it all starts with the network and the people you know.
Yep, absolutely great. So, okay, so that leads you get to the United States. Tell us about the journey into real estate. How did you get started?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm gonna have to say that growing up, my dad was always breaking something and building it back up. So I guess I didn't realize until when I started in real estate that actually I've always had the bug about building things. So I started with looking into properties to buy and invest while I was working in corporate as a marketing executive, a marketing manager. And I decided to get my license to try to make it easier to acquire investment properties. One thing led to another. A friend asked me to help them, another one did. And I was like, well, I like this a lot better than the corporate grind. And as a woman in corporate, sometimes we have a lot of glass ceilings to break. And I was really not into politics like that. So decided to step away, start my own firm, start into real estate, and hopefully help a lot of other people to achieve their wildest dreams. So here we are in the middle of the journey still.
Right, right. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I love the background. I find a lot of that there is something going on within a family somewhere that leads that curiosity, like you said, right? So you got
Yes.
started. And tell us a little about, was it, nice that it started with a couple of friends here and there, then you commit to it full time. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about how you started meeting people, generating your leads, getting your listings.
Well, really, when I decided to leave the corporate grind, I it's there's always an event, there's always a catalyst, I guess, for most agents, real estate agents, and for me, I wanted a promotion that didn't come into fruition the way I wanted it to be based on what I thought I put out for the last company I worked for. So I decided to take a leap of faith, but with a lot of planning. So October 2020, I made the decision that I will leave the corporate grind and commit to real estate full time. And I took 3 months to get ready. And getting ready meant letting know all of my colleagues, all of my friends, my family, everybody that I met that I was going to move into real estate and they needed to help me out. So when I quit in January 2021 to do real estate full time, my farewell letter at the email at the company was pretty much a lead generation email. And I told everybody, I think the PS was send me your referrals or else I'll come back begging for my job. Uh, and it worked. I got to help a lot of colleagues. I also couldn't have time, did better, straw luck of the luck, because it was 2021 and everybody wanted to buy or sell a house. So yes, coming from a marketing background also helped. So I ran my advertising and do all of the marketing, I guess, basics, and didn't forego that part, which led to a lot of business that first year, closing 28 homes
Wow.
and being a top producer right off the bat. So it's been a wild ride, but I'm here for it.
Right. Well, what a great first year, and great story getting started. So, okay, so now you're building, right? You get through that first year, 28 homes. What I love is, we're hoping with this video series that others can just take a nugget. I always say, like, if you can go to a webinar or read something, if you can get one nugget of information out of it and use it, it was well worth all the time you spent. And again, I've been interviewing a lot of agents. That little nugget of your letter, resignation letter, and letting everyone know and using it kind of a lead gen, that is awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about the conversations. I think a lot of agents get so much in their heads that they're being salesy, right? And yes, we're in a sales world. It's definitely a sales industry. I don't deny that. At the same time, you got to help people and you got to just, tell them what you're doing and tell them, "Hey, can I help you?" And when you ask the question, a lot of times we will be surprised by how many people we can help. So why not? In a conversation, if somebody mentions real estate, you bet that I'm going to say, "Hey, if you ever need help, reach out to me." Sometimes it's not about the sales right away. Sometimes it's just you sending them a contact that you have. Sometimes it's you giving them advice for free. But at the very core, when they remember that you're in the business, when they need somebody, you hopefully are the person that they ask to help them. So that's what it is about for me, and I love doing it every day. It doesn't feel like work.
Good. That's absolutely fantastic. So now you get into year two, right?
Yes.
A really fantastic year one. Talk a little bit about that. What were you doing anything differently coming into year two to make sure you kept with the momentum, or was it just what was happening, naturally or more organically?
Yes, actually, I jumped the gun. I'm not special, so I made all the mistakes in year two and started a team earlier than I should have probably, and had four agents with me because I had way more leads than I could handle myself. Coming from a marketing background, again, I ran my advertising, did it the right way. So by end of year one, in October 2021, I had 423 leads that I didn't know what to do with.
Wow.
And I wasn't going to give them away. So I was like, oh, let me hire more agents to help me with this. 2022, we as a team we did 38 homes. But there was like definitely a lot more stress involved in managing and trying to teach people the little that I knew in 1 year in practice. So it went well. I mean, it had its ups and downs and all of that stuff, and momentum was going, but it was a lot of stress. And then what happened 2023, market started going down. A lot of the agents exited the market. I was definitely down on myself because the pressure of being responsible for other agents incomes and stuff like that. So two of my agents decided that the business wasn't for them. The another one moved away to another state, and another one decided that they wanted to be solo. So I ended up being by myself by the end of 2023, and I barely closed 22 homes. And it was a big reset for me. Um, a little bit of an ego bruise for me too, because I thought I had it somewhat figured out because I came in and I was top producer right of out of the gate. Um, but it allowed me to reset, to be honest with you. And this year has been fantastic. Like, I mean, I know that real estate is, some people are struggling. It was more so, okay, let me go back to the basics. Let me read all the great books out there, from Good to Great to Millionaire Real Estate Agents, all of the staples, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, so that I can really have the foundation to relaunch the team. Because at the very core, what I do want to do with real estate is help others and help others build their empire. It's not about me. It's about like making an amazing amount of income, for sure, like any other job we do, but at the same time, empowering other people who have been told no to actually see how great they can be using their potential. So I'm proud to say 2024 was a great year. Wrapped up the year with 29 homes sold solo, and like a really healthy P&L that will allow me to rebuild the team for 2025.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I tell you, it's a very interesting, right? And I think this goes back to being the citizen of the world, and a vision. You have lots of agents, like there is not a vision. There's a vision for
Yes.
themselves, like you said, and maybe I build this, but just the way you spoke about, wanting to help others that haven't, maybe been able to get that chance, I think is beautiful. So it's a great way, thankfully you had a great 2024. So tell us about getting ready to scale for 2025. What are some of the things you're doing, to make sure you keep this momentum going?
I think for me, it has been about going back to the basics. I just recently hired an operations manager to handle all of the administrative stuff, and letting go of that. Like the double-edged sword of knowing too much about a topic is that you don't want to let it go. So marketing is my jam. That's what I did 15 years in corporate. So it was really easy for me to keep that one, but I need to give it away. I need to give it up so that I can focus in my top 20%, which is, the 80-20 principle that we talk about, the Pareto principle. 20%, of my efforts will yield 80% of my results. So I need to focus on that 20% and double down, which is really talking to people, lead generating, networking, uncovering opportunities, and giving away all the administrative and marketing items. And I'm happy that I hired somebody a month ago to join our team. Value wise, one of the things that I focused on was hiring somebody that aligned in values, that saw the world as, like, okay, the world is our oyster. We're global citizens. We work with everybody from every background, no matter where they're from. Because if you strip it down, we all want the same things again. So it's been great. And I think that's one thing I'm doing. And consistency is another part. I think that when things come to you naturally, like they have for me for the longest time, as far as marketing, you kind of take it for granted, and then you do just enough to get busy, and then you let it go. But my commitment this year is to be efficient and to focus on that 20% and be consistent with it. And that comes with surrounding myself with the right people. And I hope I started it doing that by hiring the person that I have now to head
Excellent.
operations.
Excellent. So tell me a little bit about, the marketing that you've been doing. Share a little bit of wisdom with other agents on like what you have seen really working well for you.
Yeah, like I think a lot of people spray and pray, right? Like
Mhm.
you try to touch everybody. It's impossible. I think what I did very well at the very beginning of the transition for me was to understand who I am and where I am from and double down on that. Like an example, I ran all of my advertising in French because I speak in French, and I geo target the areas that I want. There's a big French population, francophone population in Atlanta. Well, I have a big market share of that population, like helping them buy, sell, invest in real estate. So I tell people what it is you're about. Like find what it is you're about. If you don't want to feel like it's a drain on your efforts, on your energy, find what it is you're passionate about and just market to those people because they're gonna naturally gravitate towards you. I think if there is one advice I would say, it's like find your thing. Is it tennis? Is it running? Is it cooking? Is it eating? And find your tribe and double down with that audience, because there's enough to go around for everybody, but not everybody's going to resonate with our message. So for me, it was like, okay, I'm going to capture the Francophone community in Atlanta, and I did.
Fabulous. I mean, we believe so much in niches, right? So finding you are so right and spot on, and that you found this right away, goes to your marketing background, knowing that this was going to be your strategy, right? To go
Yes,
at this, not just I'm going to run ads and billboards and hope people contact me. No, you chose your niche and found this is how I'm going to target this market. And the success that I've seen from talking to other agents that have found their niche, exactly like you say, could be the university you went to and their alumni group, could be running, whatever it is that turns you on. People
yep,
want to deal with people that are into the same thing they are. So
absolutely.
fabulous that you found that right away. Yeah, I love that. So tell me a little bit about, okay, how did you go after them? How did you find them? So now you're doing all your advertising in French. What type of advertising? Is there something unique to that niche in Atlanta, as far as, whatever channel or communication vehicle that you were using?
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, it was really easy to do it via social media, Facebook, Instagram, targeted advertising, figuring out people who speak that language. You can filter to that level, Google pay-per-click campaign. And also, I joined the French American Chamber of Commerce, right? Like I looked, okay, where are they? The French consulate, I would go look on their website to see what kind of events they have and show up, that kind of thing. And then also, I'm on the board of a Atlanta Toulouse Sister City Committee, and I joined that board like 7 years ago. It came in handy, like so. Okay, I'm already on the board. I'm already doing these things that are part of my heritage, part of my background. Let me double down there. So every event that I can go to that is francophone, I'm gonna show up, and I'm gonna make sure that I keep building the relationships, keep hosting at my house some of these events. Like every year I host like the Chandelier, which is the Day of the Crepes in France. And I host it at my house, and I get about 30 people coming in. Very intimate party, but they get to taste my food and we talk about it. And then the real estate always comes up. You don't have to bring it up, people will bring it up. So it's been a great source. Just make the connections, network. If you're happy talking to people, they're going to bring real estate to you.
Excellent, excellent advice. So I have to say, you have some really great nuggets of information here that other agents can take, and make their own. Hopefully, make less mistakes. Right, that's what it's all about. If you can learn from someone
Yes.
else's mistakes, I loved you sharing that, and I really appreciate that. That you may have
Thank
jumped in a
you.
little bit too soon in year two. A little
Yeah.
over aggressive. That again, great advice. To be careful, right?
Yeah.
Like the way you stepped into this for 2024 into five, hiring that one person. Now you know what you need to do now to make this right, having experienced, what you did in jumping in
Oh,
too
yeah.
soon.
Oh, yeah. And those are costly mistakes. I think we all see all the shiny objects. Unfortunately, this industry is very glam, from the outside looking in. It seems glamorous, and we're all about the rankings, the numbers, the whatnot. And people see everything being posted by other agents, and they want to, do everything those agents are doing. Well, some of them have 27 years in of experience in the industry, and they've had time to stack all of their strategies. Like, but starting out, if I had to do one thing over, it would be to not try everything at once. It's just like pick one thing and double down, and it would pay off. And I think that's, if I had one advice to give, that would be it. Like pick one thing and just be really good at it.
I love that. I love it. This was just fabulous. I was going to ask you for the one thing. I didn't even have to. So thank you so much, Maya. I really appreciate this. Really some great advice here. Love that you're on a great track. I mean, you just exude an energy that made my day today, and I hope
Oh,
makes
thank
others.
you.
As they get to meet with you, and please follow Maya on social media. And if you like, please like us here and join a subscription. Come to our YouTube channel, and can't wait to see the reaction to your interview.
Well,
Thank you
thank you
so
so
much.
much, Michael. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.